All right, Year 7, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Yeah, these are the notes. I want to come back to them in a moment because I want to show you something first. When we are dividing by decimals, I want us to think about a pattern that can happen. So who can tell me what is 18 divided by 3? Yeah, it is 6. Great work. Now, what I've done, I've changed the question. I've added a 0 on each end. It's like I've multiplied by 10. But I'm doing 180 divided by 30. What is that? Not 60. It's still 6. 6 lots of 30 equals 180. And I can see now you've got the realisation in your face. That's what's going on. What if I do 1800 divided by 300? It is 6. Notice my pattern. I know the answer to this one. If I actually add a 0 to both of them, it's still the same answer. It's like I've moved my decimal point one place to the right. And I do it again, and I still get the same answer. So when I come to a question like this, 9.8 divided by 0.08, I can change the question so it becomes like this. Let me show you. If I've got 9.8 and I'm dividing by 0.08, I don't want to do that. I'm going to get lost. But if I move my decimal point 2 places to the right, I've now got a whole number. But if I'm going to do it there, I need to do it here as well. And so I'm actually going to put a 0 and put a decimal point. And now I have a question that I can do where I'm actually doing 980 divided by 8. That's a straightforward question that hopefully we know how to do. We did those yesterday. And you can now do it. Even if the decimal was longer, if I'm dividing by a whole number, my question has become straightforward. So we can do that when we come to dividing by decimals. Question?
So do you reckon if you save $3 every day for 600 days, you have $1,800?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, I'm glad you thought of that. All right, so let's have a look back at our notes because I've got some examples here. This is what we're going to do when it comes to doing this sort of question. Make the second number a whole number. That's the first step. The second step, move the decimal point in the first number to the same place. Then evaluate the division. So let's have a look at our first question. Our first question asks us to do 0.4 divided by 0.2. Step 1, make the second number a whole number. Well, I can do that by moving the decimal point one place to the right. Step 2, move the decimal point in the first number to the same place. I move it one place to the right. I'm now doing 4 divided by 2. Do I need to do a long division to work out 4 divided by 2 or a short division? No. Surely we know now that the answer is 2. All right? But let's have a look at the next one. It's going to require a bit more work for us. So we've got 1.75 divided by 0.5. Now the first step is make the second number a whole number. I move it one place to the right. I've now got 5. That's a whole number. I need to do the same thing here. Move the second decimal point or from the first number to the same place. Then evaluate the division. So now what I have is 5 into 17.5. Does 5 go into 1? No. So that's a 0. All right. Does 5 then go into 17?
Yes.
How many times?
3 times.
3. Good work. And how much is left over?
2.
Excellent. 5 into 25. Oh, hang on a minute.
5 times.
Oh, gee, you're quick at the front here. It goes in 5 times. So, but make sure you put your decimal point lined up. So my answer to this question is actually 3.5. For question 3, we're going to do a similar process, but this time we're going to have a difficulty because we're dividing by 0.03. My first step, move my decimal point 2 places to the right. So that's there. My second step, I need to do the same with the first number, but I'm going to have a problem, so I'm going to add a 0 to make it make sense. So I've moved that 2 places as well. Now I'm dividing by a whole number, which is just 3. So I do 3 into 1, 2, 2, 4, 0. I've had to add a 0 to make this work. 3 doesn't go into 1, so that's a 0. It's now 3 into 12. How many times does 3 go into 12?
4 times.
Great work. Do I have anything left over? No. I then do 3 into 2. Does 3 go into 2?
No.
0.
Carry the 2.
Before we carry the 2, make sure you write the 0, then carry the 2. Does 3 go into 24?
Yes.
Yes.
How many times does 3 go into 24? 8, thank you. 3 goes into 24 8 times with 0 left over. Does 3 go into 0?
No.
Make sure you write that 0 because your decimal point is there. So the answer to our question of 122.4 divided by 0.03 is actually, and I want to write it down so you can see it, is equal to 4,080. When you come to these questions, we make it into a much easier question and then we can do it. You move that decimal point for the second number, then do the same for the first, and have a go at keeping on practicing your maths. This is important work that will help you understand how numbers work together.